This is my deck. I've played with it for months. I've won with it. I lost with it. Rebuilt it a few times, or just more than I want to admit. And in July, when set 13, the Attack of the Vine drops, half of it just stops being legal. Yeah, half of it just stops being legal. Not all of it, half. And that half detail is the thing that nobody's really talking about. So today we are going, I think, deep. What's actually leaving, what survives, what it means for your collection, and whether you should panicking. Spoiler alert, you shouldn't. Let's get into it. Hello, INKlumineers. I'll just take this away for now. Welcome back to the Lorcana Vault. If you're new here, I play core constructed, I collect, and try to give my honest opinion of Lorcana, not the hyped version. Rotation is exactly that kind of a topic where you need an honest opinion, an honest version, because there is a lot of fear right now. So here is the plan for today. Let's talk a little bit about what rotation is, quickly, painless, I promise. Then I'm going into a little bit of detail, and I'll share what I will miss and what I will be happy that is leaving core constructed. What I'm personally doing about, I'll tell in the end. And what I think you should do also. I think this will surprise you. Let's get with the basics. The Lorcana play has two formats. Core constructed, it rotates. It keeps roughly the last 2 years of sets legal. Infinity constructed never rotates. It consists all of the cards except for the ban list. If it's in the ban list, you cannot play it neither in core or infinity. But if it's not there, then you can play everything. So here is the timeline. Set 13, Attack of the Vine, pre-releases July 17th and launches wide July 24th, 2026. When it lands, 4 sets rotate out of core. Shimmering Skies, Azurite Sea, Archazia Island, and Reign of Jafar. Sets 5 through 8, gone from core. There is one rule which I need to mention here, and this is the reprint rule. There is a rule that saves more of your collection than you might think. If a card was reprinted in a newer legal set, let's say Feyboat set, set 9, the set of the reprints. This is very important. If it's reprinted in any of the newer sets, then it's legal to play even with the older version of the cards. If you have a copy of, let's say, Let It Go song from first chapter, it was reprinted in set 11, so you are perfectly fine to play it. So a card from a rotating set isn't automatically dead. If it got reprinted, it's in set 9 or later, at least for the next 1 year, then it lives on. Check before you panic. Quick one before the tier list. Do you play core? Or are you an infinity player who is just watching all this chaos from the sidelines? Drop core or infinity in the comments. let's see where the players are either in core constructed or infinity constructed. And I am calling on the Bulgarian Lorcana players. Represent, write down, say what you play, say what you like. Okay, the tier list. I think the Lorcana community is kind of separated on this, and I believe it's 50-50. It's 50% of players happy that this deck is going out of core, and the other 50 are furious that it's not reprinted. And what I'm saying is that actually I'm speaking about the dog decks. It's not very popular in the Bulgarian community playing dogs, but it's really one of the most powerful decks out there. So basically this is an S tier deck that will lose maybe 70% of the cards, except probably for Under the Sea, the song that everyone is scared from. And everything else is printed until set 8. I think the middle lady that is very, very powerful, the rare lady, is in set 8. The most spoken about Trump, I think it's 7 ink Trump. It's from set 7. So the meta movers, this will be interesting. I don't play dogs, but I think this is the most hit deck out there. The one that I'm playing is the action deck with Robin Hood, Sharpshooter, Lilo, Causing Uproar, and Olaf. This one, this Olaf here. And this deck is hit also because, except for Olaf, both Robin Hood and Lilo are rotating out of legality. They are 5th set, I think, Shimmering Skies. So it's really half and half, which this deck needs those 2 cards. Of course, I can switch to Powerline and depend on songs mostly, but the way Sharpshooter was playing them, this is out of question probably the best way to play actions. I think we can adapt to that. A lot of our other cards are rotating in steel. I believe Ruby Steel, the Mushu is rotating. The Calhoun, the Steel Calhoun, who wins you 2 lore with each banishment. A lot of good cards are rotating, but not quite as those 2 decks. I will not get that much deep into giving examples of very particular cards, but I think the idea behind rotation is really to keep the game fresh, to get the players out of stalemate situation where they are only playing the same thing and they became mindless zombies, even though it takes a lot of thinking playing those decks. Which card hurts you the most in the rotation? Not the most competitive one, but the one that you are personally sad about. For me, this might be Maui Half Shark. Not so much the Robin Hood Sharpshooter, but Maui Half Shark, because it really gives a different approach to the game. Even without playing so heavily with actions. Here is the thing that I actually want to say. Even though I said Maui Shark, it's never for one particular card. I believe the meta shift is a good thing to happen. When 4 sets leave at once, the game you learned, the matchups you understood, the decks you knew how to beat, it all changes overnight. There is a version of Lorcana that I got good at, that I understood, and in July it just becomes history. It's different. It will be all way different. And that's strange, because it's not like the cards stop to exist. They are right there in my hands, here, right here in my hands, but they just don't belong to the competitive game anymore. And this is where I become very optimistic. That's also the point. Rotation is what keeps this game from collapsing under its own weight. The meta gets a reset, stale decks die, and new ideas get room to breathe, and I'm very excited for few. Let's give you a joker here, Sapphire Seal or Ruby Steel. I have one Amber Emerald idea too. I don't love losing half of my deck, but I love having new ideas for deck building. So what do you do? Here is my honest take, and it's not the exciting answer. Number one, if you collect quite a good number of cards, don't panic sell. Rotation always causes a price dip in the beginning, but the good ones hold value in infinity and some recover. Remember, if they get reprinted, you can play them again. Selling in a panic the week of rotation is how you lose your money. Number two, one genuinely important fact. Enchanted rarities are never being reprinted. So if you've got an Enchanted of a card that has a normal reprint, staying legal, that Enchanted actually gets more valuable, not less. Don't dump those, of course. No one is throwing away their Enchanteds. And number three, this is what I'm personally doing. I'll be waiting. I'm not rebuilding my deck yet. I'm not buying the new staples yet. Because here is the investigative reality. Nobody knows what the set 13 meta looks like until we actually get to play it. The smart move isn't to react fast. It is to watch the first few weeks, see what rises, and build into a known meta instead of guessing. I think patience is the strategy here. So, long story short, in let's say relatively deep dive, this is what the rotation is. Half of my deck is leaving, the meta I know is ending, and honestly, I'm okay with it, because the game keeps moving, and so do we. Here is what I want from you, dear INKlumineers. Tell me what you will be doing until set 13 release. Are you waiting, like me? Or rebuilding now? There is no wrong answer here. Pivoting to infinity, so you will never have to deal with this again, and you will only add new cards to your strategy. I want to see how this small community is handling it. If you are in the Bulgarian Lorcana scene and rotation is changing your plans, I especially want to hear from you. If this helped you feel less panicked and more prepared, that's the whole goal of the vote. Subscribe, because when the set 13 meta actually takes shape, I'm going to be right back here breaking down what to build. And a little bit of surprise product. Until then, INKlumineers. See you in the next one.